Today we're going to be shifting our focus from the New England colonies to the middle colonies, which are in the middle of the 13 colonies. Before we do that, I just want to point something out as far as map reading goes, which may have been an issue earlier. So if we look down here at the map key, New England colonies, middle colonies, southern colonies. Okay, these are what we're focusing on. Indian Territory, this is where the Native Americans have been pushed when the colonists come in. And then Spanish, you have Spanish down here in Florida. So last time I asked you which one were the New England colonies. The New England colonies are in yellow, which means this, and this are all part of New England colonies, but when I asked people to name them, they only gave me 3 names. Well, there's a colony here and a colony here. What are the names of those? Look, there's a line, Connecticut. This is Rhode Island, the little one here. The names don't fit inside of them, so there's a line pointing to the colony with the name. So we need to pay attention to that. So now if we look down here, the middle colonies is purple. So if I want to know what colonies are in the middle colonies, I'm going to come up here. I'm going to look for that color. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I'm going to look for the names. New York, Philadelphia, New Jersey, and Delaware. So just because there's no names inside these two does not mean they don't have a name. We got to look for them. And so you'll notice a little line, and then there's the name. New Jersey is pointing to here, and Delaware is pointing to here. So these are the colonies we're going to be talking about. New York, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware, the middle colonies. So the first thing we're going to do is look a little bit at the people who are in the middle colonies, because obviously if there weren't people coming over to America to make colonies, we wouldn't have any. So we're going to learn a little bit about the people. And a strategy that we're going to use whenever we're reading is to ask questions, okay? Always asking questions, not just about whether or not you understand it, but about what's going on, why it's going on, or maybe some of the things that they don't tell you, or what you anticipate it might be about. So anticipate means thinking about what's coming next. So if I look here, a good strategy sometimes is to take a title and turn it into a question. So this says a mix of people. So I want to know, well, okay, is there a mix of people in the middle colonies? Why is there a mix of people in the middle colonies? So let's take a look at this together. It says settlers in the middle colonies came from different places and backgrounds. One church leader described them as a group of people thrown together from many parts of the world. That's interesting. This diversity made the middle colonies an interesting place. So this diversity, so that must mean that what they were talking about before that is what they're calling diversity, which is people thrown together from many parts of the world. Okay, cool. So automatically I'm asking myself questions. Well, what parts of the world were people thrown together from? Like what type of people are living there? And I'm going to keep reading hopefully to find some answers to my questions. So let's go here. Starting a new life. Who were the people of the middle colonies? Well, I'd like to know that. Sometimes the author gives you a question they want to make sure that you answer. At first, most were Dutch, French, or Belgian, or Swedish. That is a big mix. How did they all get there? Then came English Puritans and Quakers. All right, I know Puritans. I don't know Quakers. So my question is, well, what's a Quaker and where are they from? As well as German, Irish, and Scottish settlers. So again, I'm asking myself questions. How are all these different groups together in one place, and how and why are they there? Most Africans, so now we have Africans too, arrived in the middle colonies as enslaved people, but others lived and worked as free persons. So we do have quite a mix here, and I also notice they have slavery here, so I'm wondering, what do the slaves do? Do they work on plantations? Do they work, like, what are they working on? The variety of people in the middle colonies could be seen in the city of Philadelphia. William Penn chose the city's name, which means brotherly love in Greek. Like all of Pennsylvania, Philadelphia was founded on the idea that people of different backgrounds could live peacefully together. Okay, so that might explain why there's lots of different people there, because they could live together, because I know like in Massachusetts they didn't really like people who thought differently than them, so maybe that's why there's so many people. Immigrants from different countries came to Philadelphia. An immigrant is a person who comes into a country to make a new life. Some immigrants left their home countries to escape war or to find religious freedom. Oh, that sounds like the I know that one. That sounds like the Pilgrims and Puritans. But I wonder what wars they might be trying to get away from. Other immigrants wanted better economic opportunities, including the chance to buy land and start businesses. Oh, economic opportunities. I know that one too, because economy is part of our vocabulary, and that's how they make money. So some people were looking to make money. That sounds like the people in Jamestown. So it really is a mix of people. Many found more freedom in the middle colonies than they had ever known. Very interesting. So I still have lots of questions. There's still these mixes of people and from all these different places, and I still want to know how and why did they get there? Why the middle colonies? And my background knowledge, like when I think about New England, might make me think that they didn't feel welcome in New England, because I know that the Puritans weren't necessarily welcoming to other people. So I might be able to kind of answer my own question there. But I need to look for information about these people. It's told me there's a mix of people, but it hasn't exactly told me why or how they got there. So that's what I want to kind of keep looking for moving forward. How and why are there such a big mix of people in these colonies? Back to another map to try to maybe help me answer some of these questions. So I'm going to look and I'm going to notice here that, hey, New York, okay, I remember that's a middle colony, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. So this area here is the middle colonies. And unlike over here in New England, which is mostly yellow, I have a lot of different colors here. So if I look, there's German, there's Dutch, there's a lot of Dutch right together in this area. There's some Scots-Irish, and there is some English in there as well. So there does seem to be a pretty good mix. So this lets me know where some of that mix is. A lot of it is happening in New York here too. New York, New Jersey, even Pennsylvania. Delaware looks mostly English. So now I see some of the mix still, but I'm still not necessarily understanding why there's such a mix. So I still have more to explore. So I'm on a mission here still. I got some more exploration to do. New Netherland and New Sweden. Well, that's interesting because I know they called it New England because they were from England. So New Netherland, does that mean they're from the Netherlands and Sweden? And where is that? So let's take a look at this. Not long after the English began setting up colonies in North America, the Dutch began to build settlements in their own colony called New Netherland. They built their colony along the Hudson River. Oh, now I'm getting some clues. In parts of what are today New York and northern New Jersey. So my question is going to be really quick. Where is the Hudson River? Okay, so we're back here on this map, and I know you can't really see it, but the Hudson River, I'm just going to tell you, goes through New York and comes out by New York City. So there's the purple, and there's the purple is the Dutch. So there's Dutch in this area. All right, so that explains part of the reason why the Dutch is there, because Henry Hudson explored for the Dutch. And so he claimed that land for the Dutch. So the Dutch moved there. That makes sense. Of course, now I'm thinking, well, these are the 13 English colonies. So if the Dutch settled in New York and New Jersey, how did they become English colonies? That's what I need to know now. All right, let's continue. The Dutch had settled the area because the explorer Henry Hudson had claimed the land for their country, Holland, in 1609. Okay, got it. So New Netherland is the Dutch, and they're from Holland. So there's a lot of names for the same people there. It might be hard to keep track of. The Dutch, along with few settlers from French-speaking Belgium, oh, so now Belgium's, okay, found the city of New Amsterdam in 1625. So that's around the same time the Pilgrims are building their colony in Massachusetts. New Amsterdam did well under the leadership of its governor, Peter Stuyvesant. So, all right, cool. So I have some information here. So now I've got Dutch who are from, where was I? Who are living along the Hudson River in New York because the explorer Henry Hudson explored it for them. But now I need to find out how on earth did the Dutch colony of New Netherland with the city of New Amsterdam, so many names here, right? Their big city of New Amsterdam, how did those things become English? How did it become an English colony? So I'm understanding the mix of people. Now I understand how it becomes an English colony. So that's what you guys are going to be exploring next.